Hello, Carmen. Got me a little dog. She's not so little. Whenever I start talking to the camera, my dog's got to. She's got to come and say hello. I think she gets jealous. What is it? Come on then. There she is. Look. Can you see her? There she is. Lovely dog. Anyway, I've not been feeling brilliant, and the knife making has taken a bit of a back seat over the last couple of 3 weeks. And my daughter here as well. Look. There she is.
Packing.
She's moving out. Thank goodness for that. She's been living here for the last
10 months.
a few months with our grandson, and they've got a flat, and moving back into a new flat, and Dad's joining them, so that'll be great. They'll all be back together again. They sorted out a new place they can afford, so that's got to be a move forward. But really been hit bad with some kind of a virus. We've all had it, and it's really knocked me for 6. I've not been right for quite a long time. I still managed to do a bit of knife making, but I haven't done anywhere near enough to keep myself in bread and water, to be honest with you. But when you're ill, you just can't. But I'll show you what I've done anyway. I think this month I've only completed 3 or 4 knives. It's nowhere near enough. Anyway, I've got a lovely knife here. Oh, another thing is, whenever I do a video, it always prompts a load of emails to come in asking for, can I take more orders for knives? I can't take any more at the moment, so please don't email me. I've got so much work on my hands. I've got all the knives that I've got in production at the moment have all got potential buyers waiting, and if I do have a spare knife, I'm just going to put it up on the website. So please, no emails. I can't manage it all, I'm afraid. I'll show you this beautiful knife. This has been built for Andy. He's coming to collect it today, so I got to do this video now, because otherwise I will never have a decent video of it. I always like to video my knives so I can look back and remember what they were like. I always coat the knives in Vaseline, so you can probably see that. If I can get it to focus on the blade, you see it's coated in Vaseline. This is a stainless knife. It's in AEBL. And AEBL is quite impervious to rusting and staining. It still can, but obviously whilst they're in my possession, I keep them in as fine conditions as possibly ever can, so that when they get to the end user, they're as nice as they can be. So Andy, he bought a knife off me a few months ago, and it's coming up to a birthday for him. I'm not sure which one it is. Is it his 60th? And he'd always wanted a special knife for his birthday, and so he asked me when he was here last, would I build him a particular knife that he liked. So that's what I've done. This is it. I'm going to pull the curtain back, so I've got lovely natural daylight streaming in. It's too bright for the camera, but it'll show the knife well. So this is the knife I built for Andy. It's gorgeous desert ironwood, classic. And there we are, look. Can you see that lovely? It's focusing on my face. You see that lovely grain in the desert ironwood? This is a bit more of that lovely desert ironwood that John my friend John sent to me. Everyone wants desert ironwood, and I've only got a tiny amount, enough to build maybe 8 or 10 knives. And I've built quite a lot of them out already, and I ain't got no more. So I always managed to come up with some other nice wood though to fit on my knives. So this is a full tang. Andy wanted a full tang knife. He didn't want a taper, he wanted a heavy knife. So that's what that is. He's a big bloke and he wanted a heavy knife, a solid heavy knife. So that's what he's got there. Came out at 62 RC on the tester, and it was for anyone that's into the technical side of knife making, you want to know what it is. I austenitized it around about 1060 to 1065 degrees centigrade, 15 minutes. The blade was coated in condursal to stop any interaction with the air in the kiln. That protects it from burning the steel actually. Then it was quenched between quench plates, straight into dry ice and isopropanol bath, which is a solution which achieves about minus 90 centigrade, thereabouts, and 78, was it? Somewhere in that order. Anyway, colder than you can ever get in the freezer. And then that converts any retained austenite to martensite, which you then temper. So you end up with tempered martensite blade. 2 temper cycles at 2 hours each, around about 165, 170 degrees centigrade, and it brings you around about 62 RC. So there you go, that's the knife for Andy. Another knife I got that I've managed to complete, and I've just got the sheath wet forming, that's in the drying cabinet now. It's a little whittler, for Joe. See if I can get some of that sunshine now. The sun's moved a little bit. So this is God, I'm overexposed. I've got to alter the camera settings. That's better. So this is in Mopani, African Mopani wood. It's an oily wood, very similar to desert ironwood, and this has got red fibre liners. And that's for Joe. He'd be getting that. I'll be posting it out to him tomorrow. There's a lovely little whittler. I want to build one for myself actually. It's got Vaseline on the blade again. Just roughly wipe off the with the condursal, you can finish the blade to a good finish before heat treat, which means that you can. It's easier to do that when the steel is in its preheat treated condition, because it's soft and you can work the steel easier, and that also comes to how you apply the finish on it. And with condursal you can finish it to a high degree of finish, and then apply the condursal, and that finish is protected to a large extent from the heat of the kiln. So when you then come to finish a knife further on down the building process, you end up with a blade which finishes up much quicker. So there you go. Right, I can take you into the workshop and show you a few other bits and pieces that I've got in there. Yeah, let's go out into the workshop. Well, a very good friend and customer came to my house a few months ago, and he gave me a load of wood. God, he really kindly cut it up into beautiful blocks. This is walnut, and some of it is really nice wood. and I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with walnut because it's really tricky to stabilise, to get the resin to go in. It doesn't stabilise readily, but it does eventually, and you've got to leave it a long time. And then once you've got the resin in, then you heat cure the resin, and then you've got a nice stable block of wood. The problem I found with walnut is that when you then come to shape and sand the knife and finish the handles off, you can see the resin in the pores. Look at that for a lovely piece. See the grain on that? You can see the resin in the pores, and there's nothing. I've tried all different ways of trying to disguise the actual resin. I think eventually if I'm gonna stabilise the wood, I'm gonna need to get a special dye to add to the resin. That's probably the only way. So in the meantime, I decided not to bother stabilising walnut, and instead I'm going to use a finishing oil. I saw Ben Orford was using some of this, and I've been using, in the past I've used boiled linseed oil and Danish oil, so I thought I would try some of this Liberon oil. It's not cheap, but eventually it polymerises, and it nourishes and enhances natural colour of the wood, and provides a hard wearing and water resistant surface. So I simply opted to get the knife. I've got one here, I finished. It's been soaking in the oil for 24 hours, and I'm going to simply just take this knife out of the oil and let it wipe it dry, and then let it dry cure, and that's all I'm going to be doing for the walnut going forward, I think. So this has got to come out of the oil now, and we'll see what we got. Here we are. We're in the conservatory now. It's such a lovely day. I'm looking forward to the warmer weather. My dog is always come to get in the way when the camera's running. So here's that knife, and it always looks so nice when you first pull them out of the oil. I'm not sure if the light's in the right position though to show it. Let's have a look. Yeah, can you see? Yeah. Can you see that? Got a bit of 1200 grit I dampened down with some of the oil, and as I sand it will create a little bit of very fine dust which will go into those pores. With walnut, I've had mixed success with it. I've had some really nice pieces which have finished up really nice, and others where I just not managed to get the pores to fill, and I think there must be a trick I'm missing. So if someone out there knows the secret, then please let me know. So I kind of managed to fill the pores up to a point, better than it was. Still see the pores there though. Maybe a work in progress still. But the oil was really impressed with that Liberon oil. It is really drying quite nicely. I'm sure it's going to be a good, well sealed handle anyway. Other knife builds I got on the go. Got a couple of bibbies. These have all been ground and heat treated, hardened, tempered and ground. They're just waiting for scales to go on, so probably have those done next week, I expect. And just spinning round the other way. These have also been heat treated, finished and ground. Got a couple of Wasp XLs. These are in ABL, but these are 4mm thick. So that's going to make a nice chunky knife. Well, I don't know what that you saw, but anyway, 4mm thick. Got a couple there. These are for another good friend and customer, Mike, who sent me the beer. So I haven't forgotten Mike, they're on the go. I'm really happy with how the Condursal gives such a good finish. Yeah, I'm having camera focusing issues, but yeah, come on, focus, get focus. Yeah, so you can see that's like Condursal. It gives such a, you can pre-finish the blade before heat treat and it protects it during the heat treat. If you're worried about my hand, that's Dupuytren's contracture. It'll eventually cripple me, but not just yet. Then the other knives are, these are all bibbies. Sorry, these are all whittlers, and I've got another XL Wasp there. That's what the whittlers look like when they haven't got their handles on. So you've got to drill all the little holes to make it lighter and let the glue go through and give it a good bond to the scales. Quite a bit of work really. Lastly, I've got five classics. These are all they've all been heat treated. These have been drilled for leveless bolts, 4mm thick, and they need to be bevel ground, tapered tangs. I'm probably going to taper these. I might leave one or two as straight tangs. But yeah, I'm very happy with the batch of knives. I'm happy with the ABL. I'm happy with the heat treat on them. I like the plate quench because, as you can see, it keeps them dead flat. You don't get any warping at all. Yeah, really happy with how they're coming out. Got it dialed in now. So that's the update from here. So knife making has been a bit slow because of the old health. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.